great songs just for Erewash here on 96.8 Erewash Sound. This is the Erewash Sound Breakfast Show Christmas special with myself, Paul Stacey, and David Allen. And,
hello.
We've got some guests in the studio this morning, haven't we,
David? Indeed. Yes, we have indeed.
I just want to say a very good morning and Merry Christmas to Joe Sharman and Joe Leanna. A very good morning.
Oh, thank you very much.
Merry Christmas, good morning.
Merry Christmas, thanks for joining us on Erewash Sound today. So it's fair to say, Joe, that you've got a very distinguished career and very well known around Ilkeston.
Yes.
So you were a player for Ilkeston Town Football Club, goalkeeper for Ilkeston Town. So what was the sort of the span of your career with Ilkeston?
I think it covered about 4 seasons. In actual fact, there was a slight interruption after 3 seasons when I went in to do my national service a bit late, and then I came back out again and finished off the fourth season, the latter half of it, you know. So it covered about 4 years, and the most remarkable thing I remember about it was we had such a really good team then, and over all the four years there, I don't think there'd be any more than 18 players at the maximum used over 4 years.
Wow, okay. So quite a small squad then, quite a close-knit team.
Yeah, we did. We had a really good team, and as I say, there was hardly any changes made over the 4 years.
So what years was that covering then?
I think it was... I think I made my debut for Derby when I was 19, so
that would have been 51.
It'd been about 51. So, and what happened was we had a friendly. Derby County played an Ilkeston team in the early pre-season, and I think I must have had the game of my life that night, and Ilkeston completely dominated us all through the game, and they finally beat me in the 89th minute, I think it was, to win 1-0. And a bit later on, there was a player at Ilkeston at the time, Ray Straw, who you might remember, and quite a few clubs were interested in Ray Straw to sign for them. And then Ilkeston Town's goalkeeper got injured just prior to the preliminary rounds of the FA Cup being played, and I think the club had remembered the performance I gave against them, and they more or less, the secretary at the time, I think his name was Bernard Shaw at the time, could be wrong, and he more or less said to Derby, look, we'll put as much pressure as we can on Ray Straw to join you against other clubs if you let us have Joe on loan for...
Fabulous.
At Ilkeston, and that's how it turned out.
So you were on the Derby team at the time when you were signed to Ilkeston then?
Pardon?
So you were playing for Derby at the time when you were signed to Ilkeston, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, fabulous.
I actually went on loan from Derby at the time.
Fantastic.
That'll be the old Manor Ground as well, of course.
Pardon?
The old Manor Ground.
The baseball ground.
The old Manor Ground,
yeah.
Everybody remembers the corner ball flags there, you know, you used to put the ball down on the... to take a corner, and the ball would probably roll away from you.
Yes, indeed. I remember it was a sloping. Yes, it was. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's where one of the supermarkets is now, isn't it?
It's where a mill. What's it called? Mill, isn't it?
Oh, Dunelm.
Dunelm Mill.
That's it. Yeah.
That's where the football ground was.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Then it was Tesco. Yes. Yeah.
So obviously, there are a lot of fond memories from playing football at Ilkeston, and I'm guessing you've sort of stayed locally yourself as well, then, Joe.
Yeah. And by the way, I must mention, you know, we had tremendous support then at Ilkeston, the team did. We had really remarkable gates at the time. And at one point in the successful period we were having, we was having gates almost as good as what the old 4th Division at times were having.
What league were you in then? What league were you in?
With Ilkeston. It was the old Central Alliance.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
And I think if I remember correctly, Limby Colliery had won it about 2 or 3 times. And Ilkeston had usually finished about runners-up, and I think I must have been the lucky link to join it up with them, and we won the Alliance. I think it was 3 years on the trot, and then won it again once more, I think, after that.
Excellent.
And we also played in the the final of the Derbyshire Senior Cup twice at the baseball ground in Derby, winning one and losing one. So we had a really good, a good solid team and had quite a lot of success.
And it's incredible to see the support you had at the time as well. To the gates that you were taking, comparable to to the fourth tier at the time, but for the gates is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Well, we are chatting this morning with Joe Sharman and also his daughter Joliana. We're talking more about your Christmas single. We'll come back for a chat in just a moment. Before that, though, we are continuing to play great songs just for Erewash for your Christmas Eve morning here on the Erewash Sound Breakfast Show. So it is Christmas Eve morning. It's Paul Stacey and David Allen with you through until 1 o'clock today. I'm still joined in the studio by our guest. We've got Joe Sharman and his daughter Joliana. Now, they have released a Christmas single. We're playing that for you on the show. We have a bit more of a chat about their history with their connections with Ilkeston Town SC and singing songs across the local area as well. More on that. We'll come back for a chat. Well, of course, we continue our festive great songs just for Erewash here on Erewash Sound with Paul McCartney on the way next.
Christmas on Erewash Sound.
Wonderful Christmas time. It's 11:28 for your Christmas Eve morning. It is the Erewash Sound Breakfast Show Christmas special with Paul Stacey and David Allen. I'm still joined in the studio by our guests this morning, Joe Sharman and Joliana. A very good morning to you both.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Oh, you're here as well, are you, David?
Well, I'm just saying good morning to them.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you said good morning to me.
No, I've said that enough to you.
Yeah.
No.
So we've just been hearing, Joe, about your time playing with Ilkeston Town, but we've just been talking off the air. We've heard that you got a bit of a reputation for being a singer during your time as a footballer.
You have indeed. I've been more or less doing that since I was 17 years old, after seeing a film called The Jolson Story.
Oh.
And for years and years I was a Jolson impersonator.
Okay.
And then went on to cover all the singing stars who made hit number one hits, and doing all that sort of thing. And to be perfectly honest, within a short space of time, although I wasn't picking huge money up, I was earning more money from entertaining than I ever did at football. Because if you remember, in the old days, it didn't matter whether how big of a star you were. You was only getting £12 a week in the old First Division at that time.
But I think they've changed an awful lot in terms of salaries for players since then.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it.
They must owe you an awful lot of money. Owe you, I think.
So I guess you got a lot of enjoyment out of the performing as well, then, that you were doing.
Oh, I absolutely love it. It's what I was cut out for, really. If I get a responsive crowd, I'm away with the mix.
So post-retirement from football, then, is that something you went on to do more of in terms of performing?
Yes.
So where have you been sort of in terms of performing? Is it something you've been on sort of the local circuit? Have you been across the country?
There's so many areas I didn't go to for the simple reason I managed to get repeat bookings in Derbyshire and I went to Hull. And I made it quite good over there, and I used to get regular engagements over there, and there was some areas of the country I never even bothered to go to anymore because I was getting sufficient work in those two areas, and it lasted for quite a number of years.
Which is fabulous. And are you still performing live now as well, Joe?
Oh, I still go many a time. I still get up when I'm asked, to perform. Yeah.
Which is lovely to see. I mean, which brings on quite neatly to your single that you released. And Joliana, I mean, in terms of the single itself, then, where did the idea come from for recording this?
Well, the songs, I've actually grown up with the song. Dad wrote the song many years ago, and it came out every Christmas. And one of my big childhood memories was actually Dad always singing it in the car when we was going to do the Christmas delivery with all the Christmas presents. So this year, same thing, we was in the car, Dad singing the song, and myself, I've actually inherited Dad singing, and I've recently released a single, so I've been quite active in the recording studio myself, and I thought, you know what, we're going to get this song on record. So I did a little bit of carpool karaoke, got my phone on the dash cam and recorded Dad singing his song. I sent it off to Get Fresh, the studio that I work out of, and they put together the music compilation, the backing vocals. They invited Dad over to the recording studio and recorded it for him.
Yeah.
And is that the first time you've been in a recording studio, Joe?
Yes.
It was, yes. How was that experience?
Well, I didn't seem to worry too much about it. I seemed to be okay with it.
They sacked me after they had that.
I imagine it's quite a different experience to performing live, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. But it wasn't quite as hard to cope with as I thought it was going to be, you know.
Yeah, you work with a really good team, you know. Big shout out to Mick Cole, who produced the song, and Dave Skyers, that did a lot of the music compilation and the backing vocals. They really looked after you, and they, you know, he's a pro, he's a great singer, and it was only a couple of takes with your great voice, and we had a really good day, didn't we?
But one of the big people as well behind this was really Jolie's mum. My partner, who we lost, just over 12 months ago, and she, for years and years, insisted that this song, we made an effort to record it, mainly for the children. We thought it'd be absolutely perfect for the children to be singing at school, you know, when they had their concerts, and nothing would make me happier than if that happened, you know, as a result of getting the song done.
Which is a really lovely thing to be doing it. So, I mean, before we introduce the song, then, I mean, what sort of is the essence of the song about?
Well, I was just thinking about Christmas and started, you know, messing about a bit and came up with it just like that.
I think it's just really good old-fashioned Christmas values.
Yeah.
You know, it talks about the joy of Christmas and the joy of the children with their presents, but then it also goes back to the origin of Christmas. It talks about Christ being born, and then I'm going to claim a little bit of fame for the introduction that we added in about the. I'm not going to spoil it actually. I'm going to let you play it, but we gave it a modern twist, didn't we, with a little bit of talking at the beginning.
Yeah.
well, I was just saying, it's been absolutely lovely to chat to you both this morning. So we'll let you introduce the single in just a moment. We just need to say thank you very much to both of my guests here in the studio this morning. Thanks very much to Joe Sharman and Joliana for coming in for a chat on the Erewash Sound Breakfast Show Christmas special. So I'll hand it over to you then, Joliana. We'd like to introduce the single for us this morning.
Shall we introduce it together?
Oh, go on, you do it.
This is Joe Sharman, and It Will Soon Be Christmas. Enjoy.
I remember Christmas as a boy, excited when I found an orange and then an apple in the stocking. And I don't mean the phone, apple. It'll soon be Christmas, the little children know. Hear them talk of sleigh bells, icicles and snow. Hang up the garlands and the mistletoe, dress the Christmas tree. They'll hang their stockings 1, 2, 3. When dear old Santa he can see, when he comes down the chimney with toys on Christmas Day. It'll soon be Christmas, we'll love it young and old. There's a peace more precious than a pot of gold. So drink and be merry, time to celebrate, remembering as we do that on December 25, a dear Lord Jesus came alive. The memory we all revive, and that is Christmas. We all love Christmas. We all love Christmas Day. Christmas, Christmas, we all love Christmas, Christmas, we all love. The Saviour was born on this day to remind us to show peace and love to all mankind, and so on December 25, a dear Lord Jesus came alive. The memory we all revive, and that is Christmas. We all love Christmas. We all love Christmas. We all love Christmas. We all love Christmas Day.
So that was Joe Sharman with his Christmas song. Just want to say thank you very much to our guest this morning, Joe Sharman, and his daughter, Joliana, for joining us here in the studio at Erewash Sound this morning.